Welcome back to another FPL video. I'll do a short summary of game week 13 before I quickly change the focus to the next game week, which is just around the corner. There's a midweek deadline, Tuesday deadline for the next game week, so it's time to start the preparations. I'll do the watch list, potential transfers, and the captain selection for game week 14. So let's have a look. Game week 13 has been a decent game week for my team. I'll get 80 or 81 points depending on how many bonus points Mo Salah will get, but there are a couple of annoying events in my team as well. Isaac injury, only played 20 minutes. Masraoui, he played very well, but he got subbed off before the 60 minutes mark, so no clean sheet for him. I also actually had Kirkis and Buonanotte on my bench. They both scored, but I will not get those points. On the other hand, at least I have them in my team, and hopefully I can catch a couple of price rises from them. My Arsenal double up with Gabriel and Havertz. They both scored, so 9 points for Gabriel and 6 for Havertz. Other than that, Cole Palmer, he did really well with goal and assist. It was kind of annoying seeing Mo Salah almost match him against Man City since he was so heavily captained, but at least I owned both of them and I captained the player who got the most points. So overall, a nice game week, but as mentioned, the game week 14 is just around the corner, so it's time to start preparation for the next one. So at the moment, this is my team. Lewis Hall and Masraoui, they have been sent to the bench because of their tough fixtures against Liverpool and Arsenal. Buonanotte, he has been moved to first bench for his fixture against West Ham United. To be honest, I'm not really sure that this will be my team for game week 14. I have 3 free transfers and I really want Saka in my team. So let's quickly take a look at the watch list before I discuss transfers ahead of the next game week. The watch list for game week 14, I really like those players, and Saka, he will probably be in my game week 14 team, which always has been my plan since wildcarding in game week 12. Cunha, the one who got away, I've been so close to transferring Cunha in earlier this season, but game week 14 might be a good opportunity to finally get him in my team. Bowen, a differential, I really like him, especially going into the busy Christmas schedule. We know that he will play most minutes and he is a steady player when it comes to collecting FPL points. So Saka, Cunha and Bowen, they are the players that I'm really interested in bringing in. So let's see who I'll need to sacrifice to make those moves possible. My main transfer target for game week 14 is Saka, and the player that I really want to get rid of at the moment is Mbeumo. I actually like him as a fantasy asset. He is nailed on and on penalties for Brentford, so he is their talisman, but at the moment he is not in his best form, not getting into good positions, and they have really tough fixtures going up. So selling Mbeumo to Saka is one of my main priorities, but I'll need to do a couple of other transfers as well to have the funds for this move. Selling Isaac makes sense to me at the moment. He went off injured in game week 13. Callum Wilson, he is back, so he will be back on penalties as well. And Newcastle, they have a couple of tougher fixtures for the next couple of game weeks, but Isaac, he will probably be sold. He's not necessarily a player that you'll have to sell if he's past fit for the next game week, but I'll need the funds for the Mbeumo to Saka move, so selling Isaac down to Cunha will get me 1.4 million, and I don't necessarily see that as a downgrade. Bruno Fernandes will probably have to make way for me to afford the upgrade from Mbeumo to Saka. I can't do it with just downgrading Isaac to Cunha, so I'll need to free up a little bit more funds and selling Bruno Fernandes, even though he did well in game week 13, 2 assists and 9 points for Bruno Fernandes, so decent performance, but they have some tough fixtures coming up, and I do believe and really hope that West Ham and especially Jared Bowen will do well going forward. Bowen is that kind of player that is really interesting when it's getting close to Christmas because he is nailed on and he plays 90 minutes most of the games. So he is a steady points collector in FPL as well. So you know what you'll get with Bowen, and he's also been rumored to maybe be a potential penalty taker for West Ham going forward. So I'm willing to take a punt on Jared Bowen. I wouldn't necessarily do this move if I didn't need the cash, but I see selling Bruno Fernandes to Jared Bowen as a really exciting transfer as well, with Bowen's ownership only at 6%. So selling Bruno Fernandes to Bowen will probably be my last move. Mo Salah, if you own him, he should always be in consideration for the captain's armband at the moment. He's really on fire. He did well against Man City in game week 13 as well. When we take a look at their opponent for game week 14, Newcastle, they have actually done well when it comes to their defending. They kept 1 clean sheet, only conceded 4 goals. They have only had 8 big chances conceded and only 12 shots on target. They are also 5th when it comes to expected goals conceded with 4.25. So I do believe that Salah is a good captain option, but the fixture for Liverpool is probably not the best for the next game week. But let's have a look at another option. Cole Palmer is another really good captain option for the next game week, and he is actually my captain at the moment. They are playing against Southampton. They are not as good as Newcastle when it comes to their defending. Let's take a quick look at the stats. They kept 1 clean sheet, 6 goals conceded, which is actually quite good. But when we take a look at the underlying stats, they have had 13 big chances conceded, 25 shots on target, and they have an expected goal of 7.64, which is 19th worst in the league. So I do believe that both Salah and Cole Palmer are really good captain options for game week 14, but when we consider the fixture, I do believe that favors Chelsea and Palmer. So for me at the moment, Cole Palmer will be my captain for game week 14. Let me know in the comments down below who will be your captain for the next game week.